record. Okay, so I want to redo the update. So I'm going to just pretend like we didn't do this. Okay. And I'm not going to redo the, or maybe I should. I don't know. So I'm just going to recap so you don't have to watch me do it all over again. So when you're making your edit route, you can use your new as a guide point, right? So the form is going to be pretty much identical. The only thing you're going to be changing is obviously the action. Even the attribute should be the same, right? So we're going to use this, and actually I'm not going to redo it. So our form, and this was part of the slip up yesterday and the confusion, which I want to eliminate hopefully today. I tried this with another IDE and I just couldn't get it to work. So for the update, when you're submitting the update form, the action is going to be / whatever it is, cars, recipes, blah, 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 with the ID of the item you want to update. And this is just probably the least confusing, the most straightforward way to do this. So on your action, when you're making your edit form, if you're making your edit form based on your new, just add in the ID of the item. Okay, so it's going to be car. Oops, we need the money hugs. And it'll just be car.id. Okay. So if you know what, let me open this in a new window. I was open recent. Make sure I open the right one. Okay. Let's start the server. Just got to think. There we go. So I'm just clicking the play button, watching my terminal, crossing my fingers, hoping it doesn't crash. Looks good. Cool. So if I go to localhost, and I go to, let's get rid of some of these rangers. I'm going to go to the ranger, and so I've set up my route in this show page. If I go back to my show.jsp, I have a table data that's set up to go to /cars /edit / the car ID. So if I go back and I click this edit button, I get the error. So why am I getting this?
Controller.
Yeah, so this, when we see this, it's basically saying you're trying to go to /cars /edit / a number. You don't have that route, right? It's kind of like in Flask when we saw the not found check server.py, right? So here we want to go and check our routes because it's saying it doesn't exist. So let me put these side by side. So if I go to my controller, I know it's going to be small, but I'll make it, can I move this? Oh, that's better. So I'm going to go into my controller, car controller, go down to my update, and sure enough, I took out my route. So I want to display edit.jsp, right? So what do I need? Is it a get or a post?
It's a get.
Get mapping. And what is my route?
I honestly can't remember what you made it.
/car /edit /id.
Yeah, so this is where I'm trying to go, and I need this, right? I need to go to /cars /edit / the ID. Okay, so if I'm going to go back, and what's going to be my mapping. So I'm going to map to /cars /edit /ID. Okay. Public string edit. And I'm going to return edit.jsp. JSP. Okay, I'm going to try it again. Cool. Different error means progress, right? So binding result, blah, 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 blah. And ignore all the noise. Look at the top, right? So neither binding result nor plain target object for being named car available as request attribute. Right? So it's obvious what the problem is, right? That's clear as day, right? That's a joke. So what's missing is I have in my edit.jsp, I'm telling edit.jsp, hey, there's a car model, right? I've got a model attribute set to car, and it's saying, what the error message is saying is, hey, you promised me a car, but I don't have a car. Okay, so we need to send a car object to our to our form. Okay, so I want to add a car. So I'm going to say model, and I want to add a car here, and I'm blanking on how to do this. Oh my gosh. Give me 1 second. So when I'm trying to not use notes, I get messed up. 1 moment, please. Oh, duh. Okay. Sorry, had a senior moment there. So I need a particular car, right? Because when I have my edit form, I want to be able to go to back here. Go back. I want this car, right? I want when I click on edit, I want this particular Ford Ranger. Okay, so I click here, I want that car. So how do I get that car? You guys still there? Where is my car?
The ID. Do the get car by ID thing.
Exactly. Yeah. So I'm passing in the ID. So first, I guess I need my path variable. So at path variable ID, and that's going to be long ID. So I'm going to use that ID to get that car. So who does the controller talk to if it wants to talk to the database?
Looking at the one above, you don't have like the thing after path variable.
Oh yeah. I don't think we need it, right?
You don't need a comment.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
Is it because there's just one or something?
Does the platform add that?
Yeah, it has adds an ID.
It does. Okay, so it's not. I don't think it's obviously it's not necessary.
If
I
it's the
can put
same name, yeah, if it's the same name, you don't need it.
Yeah, because
Yeah, it's only
the
if you
variable.
wanna
I
make
name
a
my variable right
be
here.
Different.
Yeah. So who does the controller talk to if it wants data from the database? Service, right. So I want a car that I can pass down to my edit.jsp. So I want a car. I'm going to call it a car just to keep it simple. And I want to be able to say car service dot get car by ID, just like I'm basically using the same thing I did up here. I'm going to get car by ID, and I'm going to pass in the ID that I get from my route. Okay. Now I have my car, and I just put it on my model, model.add attribute, just call it car. So now that error should go away. I have my car. If I go back to here, I forgot a semicolon. Now when I click on edit, I get the car that I'm looking for. Okay. So I know I did this yesterday, but I just wanted to make sure. Any questions about this? Oops, you don't want to see that. Those are my notes. Okay. So when I submit this form, where am I going to be submitting it? If I look at my action, I need a route that is going to be of the put variety that is going to accept the data from this form. Okay, so back in car controller, I'm going to add another route. Oops. And what kind of route is this?
Put mapping.
Put, yeah. So put mapping, whoops, put mapping. And I want my route to match my action, right? So this right here is where I need to send it. So it's /cars /ID. Okay. Just name my method, public string. Update is just the convention I use. Just call them update all the time. And ultimately, I'm going to return redirect, and I just redirect back to the root. Okay. So when the user fills out this form or makes any edits or whatever they're going to do, it comes to this update route in the form of a model attribute, right? So I use the model attribute annotation, and it's car. And I just like to do a smoke test, make sure it works. So I'm going to S out car. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my form. I'm just going to refresh, make sure we're still good. I'm going to edit one of these rangers. Let's do this one. I'm going to edit, and instead of a ranger, it's going to be a car that we don't have on our list so I can see it. I'm going to make it a focus. This is a car I actually owned at one point, unfortunately. Method put is not supported. Why is that happening?
I got this same exact error last night, man. I ended up having to switch to a post.
Oh, because I said post. I called it post. That might be why. Let's see. Refresh. And okay, it didn't work. But it's not supposed to. So here is my car, right? So I changed it from a Ranger to a Focus, and now all I need to do is save that, right? So Braxton, tell me, change it to put and see if it works.
I did that already.
Are you adding the hidden input?
No, but I'm changing the method to put.
But yeah, remember,
So-
we don't need the hidden input if we have
Yeah.
form, we can just say the method. But
Right. So if I can comment this out, change this to put, and it works the same way.
Mhm.
Which
Mm,
is that on the platform?
It is.
Okay, I didn't see it. Okay, so if I change this to put and I make this a put mapping, my actions match. I should still be able, it should work. I'm not doing anything with the database yet. I'm just printing it to the terminal. But yeah, that should be, you should, as long as you get this, right? This is just a reference. This is the toString method for our car. It's just now all we need to do after that is save the car. Okay, so let me test it again. Back here, refresh this, edit, change it to anything, doesn't matter. And if I look, I'm getting my updated car. Okay. So Braxton, let me know if it doesn't work out for you, and we'll work on it on the break.
If it didn't work out, my guess is you didn't add the line in your application properties.
Ooh, good call.
That would be my guess.
Good call. I didn't even think of that.
What line would that be?
Let's go.
In the yeah, it's the Spring MVC hidden method filter enabled true. It's line 9 here that we've got in application properties here. So if you don't have that, it won't let you do put or delete. Or patch, I mean.
Did you have that, Braxton?
Let me take a look here.
Okay. We'll troubleshoot it if it doesn't work out for you.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, sorry about that. Okay, let's now. Okay, so I don't need to print to the console. What do I want to do? I want to update my car, right? So I don't need a variable because all I'm doing is sending data to my database, making the update. So there's no real reason to have, car, right? I'm going to call the method directly. So it's car service dot, and I guess I already made it add car. So that's already in my service. So if I go to it, all it is we're passing the car in, and we're just doing car repository dot save, and then passing it down the car. Okay. So now I'm going to try it out. I'm going to let's go to car number 9, turn this into a focus. I can't remember what year it was, but anyway, there we go. So now I'm updating that record from a Ranger to a Focus. Okay. Questions on edit? That went a little better than the last time, but any questions? All right, cool. Let's do delete. So delete is pretty easy. Did I stop and start? I don't remember. I don't think I did.